Good morning or good afternoon or good evening to you wherever you are on the globe at whatever time you happen to be watching this. I hope you are all doing well and not getting too discouraged with the way things are going with this boycott. If you are feeling a little down and hopeless, I want you to know that that's perfectly normal. I also get this hopeless, deflated feeling sometimes, but no matter what, I always tell myself that I've invested too much into this fight for Valko to give up now. And there are too many things that are happening that are indicators that this fight isn't worthless. I just want to discuss the latest news on the whole Valko situation. There's quite a few. Firstly, there is the expected announcement from Infold/Papergames on the 29th of July. Many people are speculating and hoping that that may be the day Infold says anything about the Valko situation. Let me read out the comments they made on Taiwanese Facebook a few days ago. They said the winners of the All For You Shaijo birthday theme creation contest will be announced on July 29 alongside recent related events. Please stay tuned to the official Love and Deepspace fan page. So as you can see, many people's eyes caught on the part where they mentioned alongside recent related events. Now, no one can say for sure what that means, or even if that means Infold will be addressing the Valko situation. Personally, while I really want to have hope that that's what they mean, I do find it strange that if this is what they meant, why wouldn't they post their plans to address the Valko situation across all their platforms in all the languages they currently communicate in? Why would they only say it on their Facebook page, like the Taiwanese Facebook page? Believe me, I scoured several of their platforms, X, Instagram, Rednote, Reddit, just trying to find out if they made a similar claim anywhere else, and they didn't. Now, I'm not saying any of this to get anyone's hopes up or to drag people into hopelessness, but because as much as I believe in remaining hopeful throughout this mess, I also do not want to be the reason for someone's disappointment by making false claims. I believe in hope, yes, but I also believe in being realistic, and I just don't see Infold/Papergames only announcing on one media platform in one language that they would address this monumental topic just like that, you know? So really, it's anyone's guess what they meant by alongside recent related events. In other news, people are also feeling hopeful about Valko's trademark finally being registered with Infold/Papergames. A Chinese player on Rednote made a post saying she spent days searching and waiting for the trademark to appear, and it finally did. So honestly, thanks to her for staying on top of that. I honestly hadn't even thought about Valko's trademark throughout all of this, but I must unfortunately dash the hope we're all feeling because of this trademark with a dose of realness. The trademark doesn't really give much insight into whether Valko will be returning or not because it was filed for on the 22nd of June, the day his first trailer dropped. This was before all of the drama went down and before Valko got cancelled, so it makes sense that the company would have filed for a trademark on him right away, but still, one of the statements made by several bullies and Valko haters to taunt us is that Valko didn't even have a trademark, which made him invalid as a character. So some people feel a small sense of victory over the bullies who said these things now that Valko's character has been trademarked. Still, other people are wondering if it was only the name Ao Yin which was trademarked and not his other names, which would be Valko for the English version, Roga for the Japanese version, and Oh In-hyuk for the Korean version. If you can see in the picture, the trademark only says Ao Yin because the player who posted the trademark news was in China. I don't know how to look into trademarks personally, but if there's anyone out there who does, please maybe help us out and see if Valko's other names have been trademarked or if it's just Ao Yin. This brings us to the whole customer service fiasco. Apparently, a Chinese player messaged customer service to ask about Valko's trademark, and the customer service rep gave an answer that shattered lots of people. Let me read it out to you. Hello, we have confirmed that the trademark application was filed on June 22nd, which is a normal procedure for your company. To prevent the trademark from being maliciously registered and causing unnecessary problems, the trademark registration has not been withdrawn. It is a protective registration and has no other meaning. Thank you for your support. The production team has cancelled the release and development of a new male lead, and we will not be introducing any new male leads in future content plans. Personally, I'm not gonna lie, my heart dipped a little when I read this, but a part of my mind was like, I'm pretty sure the customer service rep would have to say that because it's not up to them to make any official announcements for the company. Like, that's up to the higher-ups and the actual PR/social media managing team to put out there. And soon after I thought that, my threads was flooded with so many kind and caring fellow hunters reassuring us that the answer from customer service isn't to be taken as a final word. Several people who have worked under customer service before have spoken out saying things like, I worked as a customer service agent before, and we are given lines we need to say to the customer. Every response we give and receive are recorded. They are probably instructed to only say those lines or they will risk losing their jobs. I remembered when they asked about Caleb if he will come back, they also said something that says he passed away from the blast. And another person said, we have to remember that customer service has lied in the past before. Before Valko was announced, they told a player that a sixth love interest didn't even exist, and then Valko was announced soon after. I do not believe we should pay attention to this. Customer service will lie to protect information, even if Valko is coming back. Until Infold makes an official statement, customer service cannot say anything to us. I understand everyone's feelings, but this isn't the end. Let's keep going strong. And yeah, I am inclined to side with these people. I feel like that's some good insights that we all need to keep in mind. Customer service is often trained to lie in order to conceal confidential information for the company. They're not the people at the top who make the decisions or are in the know. And like, I know that I said that they're trained to lie, but I feel like sometimes they're not even lying in the sense that they know the information and they're deliberately telling untrue information. I just feel like sometimes they themselves don't even know. Like, they're not at the top. They're not part of the decision-making process. They're just things that they don't have access to either. They're just told what to say and they say that. They're not the people at the top who make the decisions or in the know. Their job entails making statements that align with the company's current public image/stance. As the people in these comments have brought up, even Infold/Papergames customer service has lied on several other occasions about in-game related information. The whole Caleb situation, and even with there being a sixth love interest or not, as other people have pointed out. It isn't a stretch to conclude then that if they didn't lie and just rattled off whatever was actually going on without getting approval from higher ups, they would probably be fired. So don't let this answer from customer service get you down, guys. Now, perhaps the biggest and best piece of news out there, if you ask me, is that there has been a crackdown on the bullies who started this whole mess. I saw someone post about how C and Valko supporters compiled a 31-page PDF document of evidence against a particular bully that they submitted to Papergames. Now, personally, I haven't gone through all 31 pages. I have started to read the document and it really sounds promising. Like, they compiled that document, okay? Like, they were so thorough, and the language that they're using is just so sophisticated and detailed and everything. Like, it all just sounds so professional. So yeah, according to the news online, the bully had a pretty well-known, well-followed account on Weibo where she posted lads-related content. A user on Threads has come out to say that she is not a random player. She has 345,700 followers, is a verified gaming blogger, and holds the official title of Super Topic Content Creator for Chiyu/Raphael. She is a public figure in the lads fandom with massive reach on Weibo, I believe, and just Chinese social media platforms. This person has also said that this is not the first time this particular account has been called out. As early as June 6, weeks before Valko was even announced, other lads players were publicly accusing her of fabricating timelines, using her large following to manipulate opinions, intensifying fandom divisions, and profiting from the conflict. This was already her reputation. Then Valko was announced, and here is what she posted publicly on her own account before he was cancelled. On June 24, she posted that the Wolf Rabbit CP only trended because a company was pulling the strings behind the scenes, and that the character was created to steal black traffic. So I'm assuming that she's saying that the only reason why Valko was trending or something like that was because Infold / Papergames was pulling strings behind the scenes, maybe like paying people to make posts or using bots, things like that. Yeah, apparently this user also made a whole bunch of posts to mock foreign players, and she's even like an admin of something. I think I mentioned that before. She's the admin of some group, and as such, she issued mandatory reposting tasks using anti-Valko hashtags. So apparently in the group that she ran, she basically told people to, start using anti-Valko hashtags, which caused a whole bunch of, negative posts and negative media about Valko being spread far more quickly than if, things had just happened organically. So all the evidence points to how someone with an official platform in the Raphael fandom, with hundreds of thousands of followers and a documented history of fandom manipulation, was actively pushing narratives against Valko before the cancellation and mocking the people who were fighting for him. And I also decided just to read the very first page of the 31-page PDF document that was sent by CN Valko supporters to Infold / Papergames. So the first page says, report letter regarding Weibo blogger Jiu Mu Jiu, so I guess that's the account holder's name, using the painful national history of Unit 731 to hype fandom conflict and incite negative public opinion for a high trending topic. 2. Illegal and unhealthy information reporting center of the Cyberspace Administration of China. So I guess they didn't just submit this to Infold / Papergames alone. They also sent it to, an official administration in China that handles the cases like this. So number 1, basic information of the reported party. It includes the account name, the account link, the account identity being a game blogger, and the core violations. Occurrence time, June 29, 2026, ignited the high trending hashtag #LoveandDeepSpace731. And then July 1, 2026, continuously reposted controversial content to repeatedly provoke conflict and drive traffic. Number 2, detailed description of the full violations. 1. Abusing serious historical topics, maliciously defining and inciting group emotions, using national painful history as a tool to provoke fandom fights for personal gain, and artificially guiding the hype of high-ranking trending topics. The human experiments and germ warfare of Unit 731 are major national disasters, carrying the blood and tears of countless compatriots. This is serious national history and a painful memory deeply engraved in the minds of all citizens. On June 29, 2026, hashtag #LoveandDeepSpace731 topped the trending search list. The blogger took screenshots of the game's plot text and, in the main body of the post, forcefully guided and bound it to the concept of Unit 731's atrocities in China. Cooperating with extreme words carrying strong insults and historical hatred in the comments section, they labeled the game and insulted compatriots using insulting terms, which imply things like a spy, a traitor, things like that, purely for fandom stances. This triggered extreme emotions among the crowd, incited fans to boost the heat, pushed the term to a high position on Weibo's trending list, and became the core heat source for the entire negative trending search. The original intent of their posted content was not rational historical rights protection or rational literary criticism. I feel like that is a very good point to make, because it's one thing to make claims that a game is twisting national trauma when you're doing it out of concern, and a completely different other thing when you're just doing it for personal gains. You know, when you're doing just for personal gains, I feel like the one who is twisting national trauma the most is you know. So going on, instead, they used a heavy historical topic to spread rumors about other characters. They claimed the text team committed state espionage and accused fans of other characters of deliberately shielding plot issues. Using political stances as a tool to defame other players, they trivialized national pain into a tool for fandom fights and attacking rivals. This deliberately watered down the seriousness of the Unit 731 historical tragedy and severely hurt the national sentiments of all citizens. 2. Continuously and repeatedly deleting and reposting, deliberately letting negative public opinion ferment and guiding platform-wide fan disputes. After the trending search and public sentiment fermented, the blogger deleted the controversial text multiple times, only to re-edit and post similar provocative content again, continuously testing the boundaries of online regulatory supervision. They publicly proclaimed and hinted that the official game team hired them to hype the trending search, misleading, ... So I guess the rest continues on to the next page, but I feel like, you know, the first page is already such an eye-opener. Like I said before, this document is really professionally done. It's very highly detailed, and I'm just so proud of the CN players who put this together. They even attached screenshots and all that for evidence if you look through the full document. I will try to show the name of the Threads user who shared the original 31-page document in case you want to look through it yourself. But yeah, this is huge news that this ringleader bully was caught. Now, there's no evidence to support that she was the OG bully who single-handedly started everything, nor do I think that that's possible, but she had a huge hand in perpetuating hatred against Valko and foreign players, and in spreading unfounded rumors about the game and the company. I have also heard that there was a crackdown on the audacious bullies who literally cyberbullied the official page of a government-sanctioned cyberbullying security officer on a Chinese social media platform. Like, I cannot make this up. You heard me. They bullied a cyberbullying officer. Apparently, the officer had received reports from CN Valko supporters that CN Valko haters were saying all sorts of harsh, degrading insults to them online. Basically, they were being cyberbullied, so naturally they made a report to a cyberbullying officer. The officer then made a post stating that he would look into these cyberbullies because this is a pretty serious crime. Like, some of the stuff that was being said by the bullies to Valko supporters in China is just vile. I cannot believe someone, presumably a female player, can say things like that to other female players. It's disgusting. Well, you know what happened? The cyberbullies began mass reporting the cyberbullying officer's post, and I think they even made some comments and stuff like that under his posts, and allegedly some of their identities were found out, meaning they essentially turned themselves in. I personally cannot corroborate this, but allegedly there have been arrests that have been made. I do not know whose arrests, or if it's even true that actual arrests have been made in relation to this case, but several posts on Reddit, Threads, and X claimed arrests were made, so take this with a grain of salt. But yeah, I think it is great that the bullies are being found out and hopefully dealt with. Like, I don't mean to sound like an insufferable, petty person who gloats at other people facing the consequences of their actions, all while acting holier than thou, but the thing is that so many of these bullies did were just not okay. Now, I know not every Valko hater participated in sending countdown or funeral wreaths to Papergames/Infold, and not every Valko hater is a vile person, but enough of them were vile people, and they caused a lot of harm, damage, and distress to a lot of people. They caused so much chaos that even to this day, we are still fighting to undo a lot of what these people did. So yeah, don't get me wrong for seeing it as good news that they're getting what was coming to them. I also think that Infold slash Papergames might be going the legal route and may be gearing up to take legal action against these people. If so, they have my full support. Like, I'm not some Infold bootlicker or anything like that, but I support them taking legal action against people who spread defamatory rumors against them if that is what they are choosing to do. So yeah, that's all the latest news. I just wanted to take one more moment to encourage you all that what we're fighting for is not hopeless. All the arrows seem to be pointing towards Valko's reintroduction into the game. So please do not give up and keep on going. I've been seeing a lot of people, some of whom seem like definite haters, saying things like, oh, customer service said Valko is gone and not coming back, so it's hopeless. Let's just end the boycott. Or the trademark doesn't mean anything. They're not bringing Valko back ever. And whenever I see these kinds of comments, I just feel so annoyed and angry because, first of all, feeling hopeless is one thing, but actively trying to drag the hope out of everyone else is another thing. Seeing so many people stay strong and resilient and making comments to try to break them feels like a deliberate move if you ask me. Like, I don't hold it against people who say stuff like, personally, I'm losing hope in the boycott and I don't know if I can go on, because they're making it clear that their emotions are about them and their journey through this boycott, and that's fine. They're not trying to emotionally deflate and manipulate people into quitting the fight. So please, I urge you to be careful of these kinds of people. And if any of you are on Chinese social media platforms, be careful of the bullies. Let the Chinese players handle them. They seem to be really capable at documenting evidence against these people and sending it to the relevant authorities. Having said all that, I wish us all the best with this boycott, honestly. And if anyone needs a visual boycotting boost of evidence, you can always check out my Instagram, where I keep a daily boycotting log with some words of encouragement. So yeah, bye bye, and thank you all so much for watching.